Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Thursday, November 20th, 2014, around 8:05 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's a cold night out, and it's going to be a cold day tomorrow. It's supposed to be warming up again this weekend, but back into the deep freeze by the end of the next week. Some news to report. Fox 25 news, in morning news from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. will be just about news, weather, business news, and any other late breaking news. There's not going to be any talk segments or like talk banner about between the host of the topics of the day. And because Fox 25 in Boston has new ownership, Cox Cable, and they are going a different route. They're getting rid of like the talk segments and the stuff like that, kind of because Fox 25 morning news was kind of like a Today Show and Good Morning America type for Boston, but that was when they were owned by Fox, owned and operated. But this Cox is going a different route, and I would not be surprised if there's not going to be any more Fox 25 morning zip trips Fridays during the summer months. And also I think the Firehouse Friday segment's probably gone, and also I think the college tour campuses are going to be discontinued. Sad though, but you know, that's the way it is these days, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's more changes to Fox 25. I bet they're going to probably get a new logo, a new graphics for their news programs, because the graphics they still have is used for Fox-owned and operated television stations. They're not a Fox-owned and operated television station anymore. But I think those changes are coming the first of the year, and I wouldn't be surprised if more big names are gone from Fox 25. And that's about it on that. And my third and final video blog subject of the night is the personality profile. Today's personality profile is about legendary play-by-play announcer Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones was famous for calling NFL games on NBC for 33 years, but he had a heck of a career doing other sports and stuff. He's probably one of the most famous professional football announcers of all time. Charlie was born in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and he grew up in Fort Smith, Arkansas. He actually studied law at the University of Southern California, and he actually played tennis for the tennis team for USC. He got a degree in law, and then pre-law in USC. Then he went to the University of Arkansas to get his law degree there. And then he worked for some television and radio stations in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And then he started for his broadcast career as doing sports. And in 1960, he became the AFL's Dallas Texans announcer. Then he also worked for doing some AFL games for ABC from 1960 to 1964. When the rights to AFL games went to NBC in 1965, Charlie Jones went with them, and for the next 33 years, Charlie Jones did AFL games and NFL games for NBC Sports, and he actually was some years the number 2 NFL play-by-play announcer for NBC. He did some playoff games and stuff like that. He was very underrated as a football announcer. He's probably one of the top 10 greatest football announcers of all time. He was recognized winning the Pete Rozelle Award for Broadcasting Excellence for the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1997. And Charlie did other sports for NBC for his 33 years there. He did college basketball, college football, some bowl games. He called 3 Olympic Games, 1988, 1992, 1996. He did the PGA Tour. He did Wimbledon tennis. He called the 1986 World Cup of Soccer. He was a backup announcer for the NBC Game of the Week for baseball for several years. And he's he did like Ryder Cup, and he did a lot of other stuff for NBC. He was one of their most famous announcers of all time. He also was a play-by-play announcer for a few Major League Baseball teams. In 1973, he was the play-by-play announcer, TV play-by-play announcer of the Cincinnati Reds. And in 1990, he was the play-by-play announcer for the California Angels. And in 1993 through 1995, he was the play-by-play announcer for the Colorado Rockies. And Charlie actually hosted other shows as well. He hosted the game show Almost Anything Goes for ABC. He also hosted the American Frontier and Pro Fan. He actually won an Emmy in 1973 for like doing writing and broadcasting and hosting the sports documentary of is winning the name of the game. That was an interesting documentary and stuff like that. After the NFL lost its rights to NBC, Charlie Jones retired from sports broadcasting. After that, he didn't go to CBS. He actually came out of semi-retirement in 1999 to call some regional college football games for ABC. He did it about 3 years, and then Charlie Jones retired. He passed away several years ago at the age of 77, and was a sad loss in the sports world. Charlie Jones is one of those announcers that wasn't a high-profile one, but he was kind of like a middle-of-the-road announcer for NBC. Probably was in the 70s the number 3 play-by-play announcer for NBC Sports behind Kirk Gowdy and Jim Simpson, and he's one of the probably one of the top football announcers of all time. And that's about it on him. Well, I love doing these video blogs. Facebook friends and YouTube followers, they're continuing to come daily, 3 a day, maybe 4 or maybe 5 if there's special subjects. Be back tomorrow, Facebook friends and YouTube followers, with 3 more video blogs. The 3 ones I'm confirming for you for tonight is the top 10 greatest Baltimore Orioles pitchers of all time, and then the history of the NHL on U.S. network television before 1995. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about the late, great WWE Hall of Famer, Yokozuna. This weekend, there's not going to be any top 10 lists, but one video blog I'm confirming for you for Saturday, November 22nd, will be 51 years ago was the day that JFK passed away. I'm going to tell you kind of what I felt about that, even though I wasn't born. But I'm going to tell you a little bit what happened on that day, JFK being killed and shot and assassinated. Very sad day in American history. And sometime over the weekend, there's going to be a video blog about the Batman television series and the Randy Savage versus Crush feud. And don't forget, next week's going to be 4 more video blogs and personality profiles about Boston sports legends, Mike Greenwell, Bob Cousy, Jerry Cheevers, and Ty Law. And don't forget, very soon, Julie Broughton, Local 6, and Heidi Lee Pratt will be getting their own video blogs. Have a good night, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Bye now.